we just got out of seeing Barbie, and what an experience that was.
Yes. Incredible experience. That's all I can say.
It is the biggest pile of missed opportunity I think I've ever seen for a movie so far. Since starting doing reviews for movies and looking at them more critically, this is like the biggest missed opportunity for story I've ever seen in a movie. Because it's Barbie, like it's not much, so hypothetically it could do everything, but it went like the worst route possible, right?
Yes, I agree. One thing I have to say from the beginning.
Wait, let's start with the positives first.
Right.
The beginning.
Okay.
So the beginning of the movie.
Wait. First of all, the PR.
Let's suggest the PR, because yes, this movie is very feminist. If that is what you're worried about.
100%.
But it's like that kind of feminism that's like one-dimensional. Like men are dumb and keeping you down. Like it's that kind of view on feminism that people.
Which I didn't like.
No.
Because it's not fair.
No.
And then he shows them like, well, let's continue. So, because you go from two worlds.
All the male characters are very one-dimensional.
Yes.
Most of the Barbies are also kind of one-dimensional. Not a lot of characters are very well-rounded.
At all.
But let's start with the PR, like you were saying.
Yeah, the PR, fantastic.
Was amazing for this movie. This was like the most promotion I've ever seen for any movie ever.
And it was packed. The theater was
This was like
packed.
the most packed theater I've ever seen for a movie ever. It was more than like most Marvel movies we go see.
Yes.
And those are like big franchises.
And like I said, I have to mention this. I had high hopes since I saw Barbie for it. I saw the PR was so good.
Oh yeah, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing like clothes, like brands like clothes, shoes, toys, all out, even nail polish.
So I was
socks,
clothes, accessories, everything, all the stores. So I was hoping for a good script,
a good movie.
Yeah, a good movie.
Also, this was the most invested I've seen an audience, because when we went to the theater, there were a lot of people wearing pink.
Yes, pink.
Even the staff there was wearing pink.
Yeah.
So everyone there was promoting it.
So I thought it was gonna
So you're like, oh, this is gonna be like a fun experience. But then you go see the movie and you're like,
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, then it hits you, you know? Like, I grew up with Barbies, okay?
You grew up with Barbie. I grew up with Barbie. I remember playing the toys. I had like the dream house, like every girl had.
The
boat,
car,
the yacht, the boat, the dog.
The dog.
The ponies.
The clothes. So I was like hopeful that they did a good movie.
I had like all the straight to DVD animated Barbie movies. Remember those? That were like fairy tales, like the one with Rapunzel, where she's Rapunzel, the one where she's like a fairy princess, the 12 Dancing Princess, like all those movies. The Nutcracker, the one where she's like the two princesses. Oh my god!
And then Barbie is limitless. You could.
She's just a girl. You can put her in anything and it works.
And then little girls believe, oh, okay, I'm a Barbie, and I could do anything.
Yeah, it's all up for imagination.
Right.
So then this movie had the chance to do something with that, but it didn't.
No, at all. It criticized.
The marketing kind of lied, because you thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, if you realize it, it's so feminist that they criticize men.
They criticize
perfection in women.
They criticize men. They criticize patriarchy, which they say it a lot. I think they say it twice in one row in a sentence at one point.
A lot.
It's like someone who just found out the word, but they don't know what it means.
Exactly. Yes.
And then there was, how were you going to say? I forgot now. Oh, the perfection in women.
Yeah.
Barbie's not, like, yes, Barbie is, I guess what people like to think, the stereotypical blonde. But that's not her role. She's not meant to be like the stereotypical perfect women. Like that wasn't what she was created for.
No.
She was meant to be like a fun gag gift. And it was for girls to use for imagination. And she just happened to be designed that way.
Right. she was designed for girls to play and dream, you know.
Yeah.
And basically, yeah, she was blonde and she had a nice body and you could fit her in any outfit. And then she had a Ken boy.
She had a Ken. Wait, the thing was like Barbie and Ken didn't have to be like, yeah, they were a couple, but it's not like it was needed. Like when you played with them a lot, like you could just do whatever you wanted.
Right, exactly. But then in the movie they missed that.
Yeah.
You know.
But I feel let's say the negative for after, because let's talk at least the few positives. Okay. So the first positives, the prop design, at least when they're in Barbie Land, was great.
Beautiful.
All the pink, all the
bright colors.
Yes, the bright colors.
The houses look super cute.
The practical making of like the doll houses, they all look great.
The clothes.
The fact that they leaned into like the plastic stuff and like the beach is plastic.
Right.
The silliness of it works.
Yeah, Barbie Land looks super pretty. You know, it's very colorful. It's very happy. The Barbies itself, the clothes, their cars, everything was pretty.
Yes, everything was very much merchandise you see for Barbie. It worked very well. The look of it, the costume design was also well done.
Yes, very well. Yeah.
And the makeup, the hair, they really made them look like real life versions of the dolls.
Right.
The casting was pretty good.
Yes.
A personal favorite, I liked Michael Cera's character Alan.
Oh yeah.
The one you said was like gay.
Yeah, because he.
I mean, you don't know.
We don't know,
but like
he does a good even though he's not a main character.
No,
we don't see him.
He's like based on like a discontinued doll they made at some point.
Exactly.
But he was like funny. I liked his character. I liked this one scene where he tried to escape with the mom and daughter, and then he got into a fight with these construction workers, and he was like actually winning in the fight. Like he was beating them up. And it was so funny. I was like, oh.
That's true.
I liked that scene. I also liked Ryan Gosling as Ken. I thought every minute Ken and Ryan's performance was on screen was great. Even though the way they wrote him, Ryan Gosling performed him like with his.
He's like, a good actor,
kind of energy that it's like still likable. Like
he's a likable actor and a good actor, but I just didn't.
But the writing of Ken, like, it just didn't work.
Right, I didn't like the way Ken was wrote for this movie.
Yes,
it makes him look, you know.
Yeah. Also, the one joke that got me laughing, that actually made me laugh, was this visual gag, where like you see him. He puts on sunglasses and then he puts on another pair of sunglasses over those sunglasses, and that was the only like joke that got me to laugh. It was a visual joke.
I remember he wanted to be a doctor in the real world and said, "Give me a coat, a pen.
Can I have one of those clicky pens?"
Right. He said, "No, you're not a doctor.
You don't have a PhD."
Right. It has a lot of funny parts, really.
There are parts that worked, but in the larger scale of the movie, it just didn't fit.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, now let's talk about the negatives. When it went to the real world, I feel like that's when the story started to fall apart.
Right.
Because then the world in this movie, like, I feel like they tried to make it hopeful, but it didn't work out, because they also did like cynical things, like making men be catcallers, and all of them are flirty. Like there's like a montage where she gets arrested twice, and the two police officers keep commenting on her outfit.
Right. So they made men look
like they're like creeps or stupid or just not important at all to the story.
Exactly.
Which is weird, because I know Barbie is like, you know, she's a girl doll, but I don't feel like that was really necessary. I mean, if that point in the story would have been Barbie, you know, being this naive person and then going into the real world and realizing, oh yeah, things are harder here, but that still doesn't mean there can't be hope and there aren't positive moments in life.
Right.
Like if it had been that would have been fine, but then it went in like this direction that I don't know. And then it went into like this convoluted story with like the CEO of Mattel and the ghost of the creator of Barbie. Ruth, who appears 2 times and again at the end and makes Barbie a real person, and I don't know what
and then she names Barbie after her daughter. That's what we learned.
Yeah, but like, what was the point of all that?
It's like she made Barbie a real person.
Yeah, she somehow made her real.
Right.
And that was really... Like,
it gets complicated because...
It gets convoluted
right.
and complicated when it doesn't need to be.
And then I don't think they also did like how you go from Barbie land to Rio land. You know?
Yeah, it was like silly. They made fun of it. It was like this whole montage they had to do.
Right. Like you got to go through 4 different lands. You gotta go through a campsite and you see a
campsite. You gotta go through space
and you see an astronaut, and then
ocean,
and then the ocean, and you see her in a boat. And it looks like an act for Mattel, Barbie, and her different stages.
Yes.
You know, and then after that montage, you get to the real world. I think they missed an opportunity of making, like how we dream Barbie, making a great movie.
Yeah.
But they just didn't know how to mix both worlds. How to bring her from the Barbie world to the real world and back and forth.
Yeah.
So I think they missed a lot on it.
Yes. So we talked about the way they did men, the way they did the interjecting of the real world badly.
Right.
Do you want to talk about the mother-daughter characters? Because, oh my god.
I don't really know. Well,
The mom character was fine. It was the daughter character I hated.
Yeah, she was
The moment you meet her, she like Barbie's just trying to talk to her, and then she just suddenly starts like being mean to her and calling her like... What did she call her? It was like... She called her like a bimbo and a consumerism.
And
she makes women feel bad about themselves. She's a fascist. She calls her a fascist.
Right. She insults Barbie totally. You know?
Yeah. And she's just like awful and like a brat. And you're supposed to feel sorry for her because like her relationship with her mom isn't good, but like she's kind of bitchy. Like,
right. And then you meet the mom, and then the mom...
And the mom's pretty nice.
Yeah, she has all
like, if the movie had been about this, like, adult women, like, it didn't need to be a mom, just like an adult woman who's lost, like, her childhood whimsy, and Barbie, like, somehow becomes real and, like, tries to give her back some...
Of that dream.
Yeah,
you know, that
and you can still have it as an adult. Like, if that had been the movie and the incorporation of how she gets to the real world, that would have been fine. That sounds interesting. But then they had to do, like, this convoluted... dumb, like, she and her daughter don't get along, and her daughter is like a feminist who thinks Barbie represents the worst of womanhood, and then they, like, it's so stupid. I just hated the way she was written, and then like at the end, she suddenly is like on the side of the Barbies, and like her mom and her have a better relationship. Like, when did this happen? This was relegated to a montage. When did that happen?
From one thing to the other.
Yeah. They were pointless characters, both of them.
Right.
I think if it just been like an adult woman, like herself, that could have worked. It didn't need to be like this.
Right. I agree with you on that.
Like, a lot of people say this movie could have been like Elf, where like this magical creature like comes to the real world, but they still have like that naivety and whimsy of there, and they bring it to the people in the real world who are kind of cynical at first, and like shows them to be whimsical too.
Right.
Or like even like the Lego movie, which is also like a toy coming to the real world. But I don't know if they knew what they wanted to do with this movie. It makes me think Barbie shouldn't have like a live action movie to begin with.
That's what I think. Like, when I heard it the first time, I say, what are they going to do? Because
I think Barbie works better when you can put her in like these animated projects or like retellings of fairy tales and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a big project. You know, they aim more than they can shoot.
Yes.
You know, and then it was already the project, and they had to do it. But I knew it was gonna be a hard thing to do.
Like, you know what? It would have been interesting.
What?
I thought of this when we were watching the movie. What if the story had been like this Barbie, and she doesn't feel like she fits in because like maybe she doesn't have like her Ken, or like someone, like how all Barbies have like a Barbie and Ken, and then she feels like she doesn't have one, and then somehow she gets transported to the real world, and then her Ken is actually a man from the real world. So you have this doll who becomes real, falling for a real guy, and then that can be the conflict. Like, do I go back or do I stay? Like,
Oh, that would have been great.
Because I fell in love with this guy who's like my Ken, but he's a human.
Oh, wow.
He's not. Like,
Yeah.
what do I do? And that can be like the conflict. Like, do I sacrifice all I know and like stay with, so I can be with this guy I like, or like can I convince him to come with me? But then like he's throwing his life away. Like, what's the choice I make?
Right.
And I thought about that when I was watching the movie, and I was like, that could have been interesting.
It could
To
have.
incorporate like a Ken that's like actually an interesting character,
I think
and
that,
like he could teach her like how the real world works, and like it's not always awful.
you see that could be.
I made up like a good Barbie movie in like 5 minutes,
Yes.
like a much interesting synopsis,
I agree, 100%.
and that could also make sense for why she stays in the real world, because she fell in love with this guy, and you could say stereotypical, but I feel like, I don't know, that could have been interesting.
And then what about the end?
Well, no, then that could have been the end. Like she chooses.
No, I get your movie.
No, how
no.
I felt about the end.
Yeah,
the actual
no,
ending.
yours sounds great, but
Mine-
they missed the opportunity. So,
Yeah.
but what about the end of the movie?
The actual end. Well, then the Ken, they make the Kens fight each other because they break the brainwashing. They somehow, which all the Barbies were supposed to be smart. How did they get brainwashed so easily? Anyway, so they break the brainwashing. They trick the Kens into fighting each other because they're petty or whatever. But then they get along again. I mean, the beach fight was pretty funny, so I like that. And then there was like this dance off that was kind of like Grease.
Yeah.
And that was actually a funny scene. But then like it goes back, and then like after that, him and Ken and Barbie have like this whole discussion, and
then
Ken learns to be his own individual, and then he has like a sweater that says, it was like I am Knuff or something.
Right. I thought it was Kellogg's, like the cornflakes first, and then I read it again. But yeah. And then then Ruth, which is the creator, comes and get Barbie, and then Barbie becomes real, and she goes into the real world.
And I guess she lives with a mom and daughter, and the dad's like cool with it. Because
Yeah.
the dad is still with them. Like the dad is in, which makes me feel like the mom should have just been divorced or something. Because the dad is like a nothing character.
Yeah, I mean,
He's like in one scene and then appears
Yeah.
again at the end. Like, how was that discussion? Like, hey, honey, can this blonde girl live with us?
Right.
Like, how did that go?
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it cuts to like her with the family, and they're like supporting her for something, and you think she's going in for like a job
Yeah,
interview.
right. That's what I thought. She was gonna go for her job, and they're supporting her, whatever.
And then she goes into like an office place somewhere, and then she says, "I'm here to see my gynecologist."
Right. What?
This is a Barbie movie. Why are you talking about gynecologists?
I
I
know.
thought this were for little girls.
And this was the end.
Yeah. Also, they say the words vagina and penis in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yes.
So, who is the age range for this movie? Is my question.
Yes.
Like, is it for adults who used to play with Barbie, or teens, or children?
Or men do not. I'm not gonna like this.
No,
movie.
like, who is the age range? Because you say words like that, and they also say the word motherfucker, but it's censored. But you know that's what she said.
Said,
One
right.
of the Barbies said.
Right.
Like, I don't know who the age range. Also, why are all the characters in Barbie Land just Barbies or Kens? Like, Barbie has other characters in her franchise, like all her sisters. Not like her sister, like Skipper is referenced, but like she's not like a character. Like Skipper is her own character. I arguably like Skipper more than Barbie because she's cool. But like her sisters aren't like their own characters, like Skipper, Stacy, Chelsea. All her sisters aren't there. Barbie has other friends other than Midge, who was like mentioned. Like she has other friends that are like their own line and characters that exist that aren't in this.
All you see is Barbies.
It's only Barbie and Ken's, and I
Yeah.
think
Barbie president, Barbie this, Barbie that.
yeah, there's no other Barbie characters that exist in the franchise that appear. It's all just different variations of Barbie or Ken.
Right.
Unless it's like for a joke, then like Midge or a mermaid
Or the
Alan.
pregnant Barbie or things
Alan.
like. Yeah.
Because I think there are also other male characters other than Ken. Like, I know there's like a guitar dude. I don't remember his name, but he was like in a cartoon. So,
Yeah.
like, other characters exist. You could have put them in here, but they didn't. And that makes me think they don't really know a lot about the Barbie lore or about the franchise. If they didn't care to do that.
Or they just didn't care. They just...
No, it's just like Barbie. That's it.
Yeah.
Put Skipper, Stacy, and Chelsea. Give them their respect.
Yeah.
And Kelly. I think Kelly's sometimes a sister or her daughter. I forget. I don't remember right now. But at least I referenced the dog.
Oh, yes.
The dog that's always pooping.
That's true. Oh, and the broken weird Barbie.
Yeah, the weird Barbie.
Which is that represent like the dolls that kids play too hard with them.
When kids don't respect the toy, then you just kind of do whatever.
Right.
Which I thought that was fun. That was an interesting thing. But it's also weird because like Barbie is usually supposed to be like this naive but still nice person, and all the Barbies are kind of rude. Like they say, "Oh, we call you weird Barbie" behind your back and to your face.
Right.
Like that's kind of mean.
I know. But well, they understand each other. That's how they.
Yeah. Also, Barbie didn't even want to go to the real world to begin with. So, like, what was the point of this plot other than contrive? Because she didn't even want to do it.
No, she didn't. But then she ends up going, and that's how the movie starts.
Yeah.
What can I say? Once again, they missed.
This whole movie's a missed opportunity.
Completely. What else?
What else did we want to say
about the acting?
I think the acting was fine. Margot Robbie was good casting. Ryan Gosling was good casting. I just think this wasn't a good, well-written movie.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
And for Ryan, especially, you know.
Oh yeah.
Because on
he was like the most like charismatic is the word actor.
Yeah. But for him, it was definitely bad writing. But he's a good actor. That's all I could say.
Yeah. What else?
I don't know. Maybe we'll remember some other things, but basically we touch on the things that,
The music was fine. There was this dance sequence at the beginning that looked nice, and then the other dance sequence with the Kens was nice. I don't really have anything else to say, do you?
No, basically.
Is that all?
Yeah, let's rate it.
Okay, so we said everything. Let's rate it. What would you rate this?
I'm gonna give it, because I did like the colors. I think they try hard, and
I liked the coloring, the casting, the music, and the costumes.
Yes,
everything
I like that.
With the story,
and they tried. I didn't like that the story how it go, but I did like all that you mentioned. So I'm gonna.
I feel like. Oh, I'm sorry. Before you finish.
What?
Like, this was a super feminist movie, but like, there's nothing wrong with like a female-led movie. Like, I want to compare this like when we went to see Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. That was a female-led movie, but it was
different.
But it was different and it was good. Like, it didn't have to like put men down or like be in your face to like be a good feminine story.
Right. So.
But that was more of an indie movie.
Yeah, but in this one, they definitely make the men look silly, dumb, all of the above. Yeah. Sorry about men. I'm not like that.
Oh, can we tell a funny story? We went in there and there was a guy sitting in our row.
Sleeping.
And he fell asleep halfway through the movie. And we were just laughing.
Yeah. I don't think it's a guy's movie, to tell the truth.
No, you only bring this like because like your girlfriend or wife or daughter wants to go see this and you...
you would feel like, what's going on? This is what they're teaching my child, my friend, my...
This is what they're teaching my daughters or like... Yeah. Or like girlfriend or whatever, like...
Right.
This is what men are all the time.
But well, let's just go back to the rating. I did like the colors.
Yes.
I like the costumes. I like the acting. And I'm going to give it a 5.
You're going to give it a 5? Yeah. I'm going to give it a 4.
Oh, okay.
So you're 5 out of 10 and I'm a 4 out of 10. Both meh. Like, it's not... It could have been worse, I feel.
Yes.
But it doesn't quite reach even good.
It could have been worse, but what makes it like a little that you could improve is the acting, the color,
I feel like what could have been... The acting could have improved. The writing of it and the story they were telling could have been improved.
Yes, 100%.
The characters.
Yes, I agree. So, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, that's our thoughts. So you're 5 out of 10, and I am a 4 out of 10.
Right.
Pretty meh movie. which is too bad because I was hoping for maybe a little more, but at the same time I don't really know what I was expecting. So that's all. That has been our review of Barbie. If you've seen the movie, tell us what you thought in the comments below. Like it, hate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And this has been Just Some Fangirl, and we are out. And we are just Ken.
Yes.